Have you ever wondered why the most intelligent people are sometimes the saddest? In 2018, researcher Ruth Karpensky at Peter College did something unusual. She surveyed 3,750 members of Mensa, the high IQ society that requires a score in the top 2% of the population, roughly 132 or higher on a standard test. These aren't just smart people. Those are the smartest people, statistically speaking. She asked them just one question: how are you doing? The results were quietly devastating. About 10% of people are diagnosed with mood disorders, depression, bipolar, the kind of thing that makes getting out of bed feel like climbing a mountain. Among Mensa members, 26.7%, nearly 3 times the national average. The smartest people systematically more broken, not by circumstance, by their own minds. The scientists called it the hyperbrain or hyperbody theory, which is academic language for your intelligence doesn't just process more information, it feels everything more intensely too. And that intensity, that heightened reaction to the world, is simultaneously what makes you smart and what makes you suffer. But the statistics just tell you what's happening, they don't tell you why. There are 4 mechanisms at work. 4 specific ways intelligence actively undermines happiness, and most people have experienced at least one of them without ever having a name for it. The first one is overthinking, but not in the way you think. Everyone says they are overthinker. It's almost a personality trait people wear proudly now. The kind that comes with genuine analytical intelligence isn't replying conversations in your head, it's running every possible scenario simultaneously. A normal person makes a decision and move on, but a genuinely intelligent person makes it and immediately starts calculating every way it could go wrong. The probability of each failure and what happens after that. This isn't anxiety, it's accuracy. Smarter people genuinely do anticipate more problems because they are better at seeing them. The problem is that the brain doesn't distinguish between a problem happening right now and one that might happen tomorrow or even next week. The stress response is identical. The second mechanism is the Dunning-Kruger trap, but in reverse. Everyone knows the original effect. Incompetent people overestimate their abilities because they are not smart enough to see their own gaps, but the effect runs both directions. The more intelligent you are, the more precisely you can map what you don't know. Someone who knows nothing about medicine feels fine about their health decision. A doctor looks at the same situation and sees every possible complication, every diagnostic gap, and everything that could be missed. The third mechanism is social friction. This one is less discussed but more uncomfortable, because intelligent people have genuinely different conversation needs than the most people around them. Not superior needs, different ones. The topics that feel stimulating and the depth that feels satisfying. These don't match the average social interaction. What this produces isn't arrogance, it's loneliness, a specific quiet kid that's hard to explain. Because from the outside everything looks fine. You have friends, you go places, you talk to people, but there is a frequency mismatch in almost every conversation. This constant sense that you are translating yourself. Karpensky's data confirmed it. Highly intelligent people reported significantly lower satisfaction with their social lives, not because they are antisocial, because genuinely connection requires a match, and matches are rarer when your frequency is unusual. The fourth mechanism is the expectation trap, and this might be the worst one. Intelligent people learn faster, perform better, and solve problems that others can't. They get used to competence, and competence raises the baseline. What feels like success to someone else feels like the minimum to you. The research farming is blunt. Happiness roughly equals reality divided by expectation. If your expectations have no ceiling, you are locked into perpetual disappointment. Not because life is bad, it's just because your internal standard just keep moving. A simple thing that brings most people genuinely joy is finishing something, being acknowledged and getting something right. But all of this for you registers as nothing, because you expected it. Of course you finish it. The baseline is so high that almost nothing clears it. Now here's the part that complicates everything. Intelligence is not a curse. It's a tool, but being aimed at the wrong target. Because happiness, and this is the part nobody tells you, doesn't respond well to analysis. The more you think about whatever you're happy, the less likely you are to actually be experiencing it. Happiness is a present state phenomenon. Analysis is inherently about comparison, evaluation, past and future. The two modes are almost neurologically incompatible. This is why practices with zero intellectual content, physical exercise, time in nature, real human connection move the happiness needle more reliably than any amount of achievements, self-improvement or knowledge. Not because intelligence is bad, because happiness requires the brain to stop doing the one thing intelligent brains are the best at. A Harvard study tracked 724 men across 80 years, one of the longest running studies on human well-being ever conducted. The single strongest predictor of happiness at 80 wasn't IQ, wasn't career success, and wasn't wealth. It was the quality of the relationship. The smartest men in the study who sacrificed connection for achievement were consistently the unhappiest at the end. Not the least successful, the unhappiest. So where does that leave us? The answer isn't to get dumber, you can anyway. The answer is to recognize what intelligence is actually built for. Solving external problems, building systems, understanding how things work, and what it actively works against. A hammer is a great tool, you wouldn't try to eat soup with it. Intelligence is the same, extraordinary for what it's designed for. A real liability when pointed inward and used to evaluate your own worth, your own progress, your own happiness. The smartest move, paradoxically, stop analyzing the relationship and be present in it. Stop calculating the optimal outcome and just decide. Stop measuring whatever this moment is good enough and let yourself actually be in it. And I know that's not a simple instruction to follow, but it's the accurate one.